All right, we're good.
Okay, cool. So we really just want to talk about, Steve's personality and how it is working with him as a talent. So just tell us about how it is working.
Yeah. Well, working with Steve Harvey on Family Feud is such a blessing. I mean, it's the perfect host for this show. He's brought so much to this show, and it's a great format, and he's a great talent, and together it just goes off, man. It's just magic every day. We laugh all day.
And talk a little bit about his personality as it relates to working with him.
You know, I love working with Steve. First of all, he's such a hard worker. I mean, I myself have learned so much from Steve, just in terms of how I live my life, how I relate to my children, how hard I want to work, and where I want to go to. So it's sort of actually been very inspirational, just something about working with Steve that I didn't expect. I knew I would laugh a lot, but I didn't realize that I would be inspired so much.
Really cool. Is this your first season working with him?
No, this is my sixth summer with Steve. This is my sixth season with Steve. I've been on the show for 14 years now. So, yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow. Okay, so you've been doing Family Feud for 14 years.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha. Can you talk about some of the major shifts or changes that have occurred since he's joined the team?
Sure. Well, you know, I've been doing Feud for a long time, and I've been through a couple other hosts. But what Steve brings to the table is this incredible comedy, right? So what we do when we shoot the show is we let it go, because we don't know exactly where the gold's going to be and where he's going to stumble upon something amazing. So the shows run a little bit longer, but we, of course, in editing, will edit down in order to make our half-hour episode. But and we keep all the great comedy. So it's a bit of a different shooting schedule in terms of how long it takes us to shoot the show, but it's always worth it because he's so funny.
What is as it pertains to this season, what is one of the best moments from this season as we begin wrapping up shooting?
Well, I got to tell you, one great moment that stands out. I mean, there's a funny moments, so many great moments. We go to dinner every night, the crew and I, and just laugh our ass off because it's unbelievable. Every day is a comedy special for us. But one of my favorite episodes was Steve's 1000th episode, and it really meant a lot to me to prepare that episode for him and for us, and to celebrate in our success together, and to bring Marjorie around the corner as a surprise with the cake. And the look on Steve's face when she came around the corner was just so great. It was really, really fantastic. And the love and the respect between the two of them is just special.
Really cool. And then if there's any personal moments or anything that just you and Mr. Harvey have shared, anything like that happened that sticks out in your mind from the 6 seasons that you've done?
Yeah. Let's see. One of the funny things is when Steve started doing the show, right? I've worked on hundreds of shows with hundreds of hosts, but they all have a little different relationship with their directors, right? And so I was trying to get a read on Steve early on, and something happened with an electronic or a sound effect or a music cue, and of course Steve went after me right in front of the audience. He's like, "That's Ken, our director, screwing up again." And I died inside. I just was so upset. I thought I was fired, and afterwards I said, "Mr. Harvey, I'm so sorry, that won't happen again." He goes, "We're good, Ken. If I'm making fun of you, you're cool. It's when I stop making fun of you that you have to worry." So I got it then and there that he was going for a joke, he was going for a laugh, and he was actually kind of cutting me a break by making it a fun situation at my expense. But that's okay. Now that I knew that, we just had a million good laughs, and he's flipped me the bird, and he's called me out a few times, lots of times, but now we all get a laugh out of it. We enjoy it a great deal. One other real cool thing is, I'll just tell you very briefly, my son was visiting me last week. I have a 16-year-old son, Eli, and I brought Eli back to meet Steve, and that was a real special moment for me because I know how close Steve is with his sons, and I am with my sons. And it was just a nice sort of, melding of the two worlds, to have my work life and my home life kind of meet. And Steve said to my son, "Your dad's great. I love your dad." And my son said, "I do too." So that was a really special moment for me.
Do you have any favorite Steve quotes?
Oh, I have so
Steve-isms?
many Steve quotes. Oh man, I don't want to do Steve because I'll never hear the end of it. But There's a lot of stuff Steve says. I love. One thing I say to my sons, and I repeat over and over, is the dream is free, but the hustle sold separately. And I love that, because a lot of people dream big, and we should all dream big, but you got to put in the work. You have to show up every day. Man, when he turns that corner, he brings it every single show. He never lets me down. I take that close up and he's on, and it's a miracle, man. I've never seen anybody so consistently on point. But it's the hustle. You just gotta hustle all the time. And I'm 54, so Steve and I are in that same kind of age group where we've been doing this a long time, and I don't think either of us have felt and achieved this kind of success at this level, and it's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of stuff about faith, and it's funny because Steve and I have different religious backgrounds, but there's a lot of similarities, sort of faith-based things and just spirituality that I never thought would be the case. But it is, and I like some of the stuff he says about faith and religion and imagination, imagination and making things come true. And if you can think it, it's possible. And as a director, that's so liberating, right? Because most of the time we're told, oh, you can't do this, or we don't have the money, or what are you thinking? And Steve's saying, hey, it's okay, think of everything and try everything.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
And then can you just introduce yourself, your first name, last name, and then your title?
Yeah. I'm Ken Fuchs. I'm the director of Family Feud.